not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And I guess I'll talk about the gender war and so forth. You know, one thing about my videos, I haven't critiqued the black women enough. You know, I guess because, you know, everybody's doing it, you know, and so forth. You know what I'm saying? The black woman has become such a whipping boy that, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to explore that subject. Now, I would say as far as the gender war, you know, I take it as about as seriously as I would say the East Coast, West Coast conflict that happened around the mid-90s. You know, like a lot of rappers were making, you know what I'm saying, making videos dissing the opposite coast that, you know what I'm saying, just for, you know, for notoriety and so forth, just to sell singles, you know, you see what I'm saying? Like the media and the publications, you know what I mean, they over-exaggerated this conflict, like as if a rapper from the East Coast was to do a show down, will try to do a show on the West Coast, you know, they'll immediately, you know what I'm saying, rush them and so forth, or, you know, vice versa, you know. And that's why I said it was such a hot topic, and a lot of rappers just jumped on it, even though they really didn't have any problems with the opposite coast. And a lot of rappers, even if you actually hear the songs and the lyrics, they're not even speaking bad about it, but they're kind of using that as their banner. You know, just like with Snoop Dogg and Dog Pound did New York City of Dreams. In my opinion, that wasn't even really a disc. You know, but they were kind of playing into that whole realm there. And, you know, and Tupac was one of the rappers that, you know what I'm saying, that set it off. Now, Tupac saved face by doing a song with Buckshot and, and, you know, and saying that he was a big fan of the Wu-Tang Clan. And I know he wants to bring Death Row to the East Coast, but still, he had to take accountability for what he did. He knew what he was doing, creating that sort of controversy and so forth. But I think the media, you know what I'm saying, turned it into a bunch of hyperbole, and, you know, but on the ground level or whatever, it wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? I understand that, you know, people on the East Coast didn't particularly listen to a lot of the gangster rap of the West Coast, or only certain gangster rappers, and it's vice versa. But when you're dealing with like that kind of like that backpack hip hop and so forth, or is what they call it, it's different. Like, for instance, you had you know, Hieroglyphics and Souls of Mischiefs out the West Coast, but they had an East Coast kind of sound, and that they, you know, and people on the East Coast, you know, kind of liked them and so forth. You know, and just like Biggie Smalls and commercial rappers and shit like Flavor in Your Ear, they was bumping that on the West Coast. So, but I'm getting carried away here. Now going into the gender war. Now I would say that, as I said, you know, when I go out here to bars and I go out here in the real world or whatever, I'm still seeing black men and black women congregating. They're still exchanging numbers. They still seem like they're attracted to each other. I still see them holding hands, you know, and so forth. You know, I'm like, black love is not dead. You know, I'm not saying, I don't know if these couples are happy or whatever, but still. Now, I understand that, you know what I'm saying, there's a push, you know, for us to date white women, date white men, and so forth. I was at a bar and I overheard one female say that my number is 555, I'm moving on to white men, you know. So yeah, I get glimpses and snippets of it in the real world, but it's not it's not that bad. A lot of these characters here on YouTube, people haven't even heard of, you know, and so forth. And there's always going to be some sort of friction between men and female, period, you know what I'm saying, with a gender war, with the white men and the white women. You know, if I was to go to any bar in this world, you know, Vietnam, Yemen, sat at a bar, started drinking and talking to a person of that country, you know, whether he's Asian or whatever, and talk about women, that all men are going to have their gripes about women. Even in countries where women are you know, don't have equal rights, they're going to say, well, you know, my wife said she was going to cook dinner for me about 6, but she's always ready for me about 8. You know, women, they like to talk too much on the telephone. You know, people always have their gripes. You know, we must understand that. And the thing is with the gender war here on YouTube, on the internet, people are going to say stuff to get views. Same thing with the rappers playing into the East Coast, West Coast nonsense. They may just make songs just you know, because it's a hot topic, because people will listen to them and so forth. So yeah, we have to understand that. Now, I understand that a lot of these women, these anti-Tommy Sotomayor black females, I'm not saying most of them, are with white men who have white baby fathers. And you know, I do kind of feel a certain way about that, because I know these same black females are going over to those interracial videos about, you know, white women stepping out, you know, black women stepping out, black women, white men love. I know, I see them. I see them on there, and they don't like what Tommy or some of these guys say about black women. Okay, that's fair enough, but do they have the same angst towards the white racist, you know, who talk about the black people as a whole? Like, you know, some white racists, they feel that you can't, when speaking upon the black women, you can't rape the willing. You know, you see what I mean? You can't rape the willing. I mean, black women are always ready and willing to have sex. So you can't, you know what I mean? So you can't force yourself upon someone who's always open. You know, and the other disparaging things that these white people have said about, you know, black people and low IQ. And I wonder if some of these women make any sort of effort to combat them, you know what I'm saying, to go to their videos and troll them, you know, or they're just more focused on the black men saying negative things about the black women, you know, and so forth. And yeah, a lot of them are date the white man and so forth. And my thing is, when you're dating outside your race, you know, however you define race, you know, so I have to question, you know what I'm saying, your agenda and so forth. Because, you know what I'm saying, my agenda, man, I'm you know what I'm saying, I got enough ammunition to go after everybody and so forth. Now, going to Miss Archduchess, you know what I'm saying, everybody knows the stunt that she pulled. You know, taking a clip from somewhere, not telling us the origin of it, and using sexual fetish, some racial sexual fetish footage, and you know, and linking it up to white supremacy and so forth, and how the white black man is kneeling down to the white women and recognizing white women as part of white supremacy. I understand that. Now, I did a video on ghetto gaggers where I kind of took racial, a racist fetish or whatever, but at least with my videos, you know where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? I'm talking about ghetto gaggers. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take a clip from ghetto gaggers and, you know what I mean, try to distort your views or whatever, are misconceived, you know, are purposely misconceived information just for, you know what I'm saying, your viewing pleasure, you know. So, but my thing was with ghetto gaggers is different, because a lot of stuff that they were doing to these females could be considered illegal. Now with Miss Archduchess, I've you know, so I unsubscribed to her channel when she came out with a video where she's somewhat promoting white men. You know, she had a video about black women going over to the other side. You know, and it seems like she was bigging up white men. So I'm like, okay, I see where she's coming at. You know, and a lot of these anti-Tommy females are, you know what I'm saying, on that same page. You know what I'm saying? We have to, you know what I'm saying, we have to realize this. And you know, like stuff that Bigot Free TV says. You know, when she made a statement, I'm not saying all men are psychopathic. I'm like, So that's like me saying, well, not all women are evil and vindictive. That I'm pretty much saying that's how I feel. My outlook on them is kind of negative, but then I'll make some sort of exceptions. It's like a white person saying, well, not all black people are degenerates and drug dealers and so forth. He's just saying that there are some exceptions. You see what I mean? I don't like that term, not all. Now, but here on YouTube, the gender war is hot. Like it's hot. People are pulling out those clips and whatever. Now, another thing people are always talking, they say that the black women should take accountability. Yeah, I'm you know what I'm saying, I'm all for that. Yeah, you can't sit there and complain about the state of black men or whatever when yeah, they should take accountability, and you should also point the finger at black women. You know, so some of these dipsy women that's going to run out here and do anything to you know what I'm saying, to get pregnant. And my thing is, it's both the men and females' fault, you know, and so forth. And it's a cycle that's going to be hard to stop. But I understand that even when dealing with white supremacy, that, you know, people will always blame the men. You know what I'm saying? The fall of the black community, people are going to blame the men. People hardly ever blame the female. Just like they're not going to blame the white women for the dominance of white supremacy and so forth. And I get that. And one other term, I hate it when people say that, oh, I'm going to jump the fence. I'm going to jump over to the other side. I'm fed up and I'm going to jump. I heard them, and both sexes say this. You know what I'm saying? Black women and black men. And I remember Sergeant Willie P saying that he's going to jump over the fence and get a white woman because he's tired because the black man hasn't built the infrastructure, and that the black woman is clinging on to the white man because of protection or whatever, some stuff. My thing is that if you're going to jump the fence, or well, I don't know, whatever term that they use, you should have been to it. Don't tell us that you're going to do it. You should have been to it as if you had an opportunity to get with all these, you know, attractive, you know, people of the other race. If you're attracted to them, that you know what I'm saying, you held off. You know what I'm saying. You still wanted to give the black man or black women another chance, and then you fed them like, oh, I'm going to get me a white girl. As if you rejected all these fine, pretty white girls that was in your vicinity. And so, in your circumference, and so same thing with black women. As if you were attracted to the white man and you had chances with them, but you wanted to give you attracted to the white man and you wanted to give the black man another chance. No, you know what I mean. I'm gonna call your bluff on that one. You know that's bullshit. And the thing is, with people that who claim that they don't want to have a black child because, you know, because how the world views black people or whatever. I'm like, how do you think a mixed child is going to fare better? Especially if a mixed child is going to date, you know, a black person, a dark-skinned black person. I'm like, there's no way you can challenge what if they're in love with somebody. There's no way you can sit up there and say, oh, don't, especially with a mixed person. I don't want you to date a black man. It ain't like a white guy, you know, talking to his white daughter. You know, and usually it'll have to be a white guy who has money and tell his daughter, like, hey, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to get any money for college and so forth if you date a black dude, you know. But, you know, you see what I'm saying and so forth. It'll confuse the mixed person, you know, because a mixed person will not have, you know, have the perks of white privilege, you know, as a white person, unless you're dealing with the world of like maybe fashion model, and it depends on how good your mixed child comes out and so forth. But yeah, I think this whole gender war thing, I think it's all bullshit, and you have people, you know what I'm saying, throwing a monkey wrench in the game, you know, and it seems like their agenda is disingenuous and so forth. Yeah, and here's another thing that that you know what I'm saying, that I sort of ponder on about submissiveness, you know, and you know what your definition of that is. They say that the white women are more submissive, and the white women allows her man to lead. You know what I'm saying? Allows him to be the leader. and they say black women are in this feminism and all this other stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I guess people are watching those black men are watching these 1950s sitcoms or whatever. But what I'm saying, due to the due to capitalism now, that in order for a family to the typical American family to keep their head above water, a lot of times both sexes have to go to work. And also it was white women that pressed feminism. So hence the black women followed the white women in feminism. You know what I'm saying? And that's their gripes. But then they turn around and they say, oh, why can't black women be submissive like white women? This is a head scratcher on that one. And also I wish that, but the thing is, as I said, I think a lot of people, they got a lot of stuff misconstrued. And a lot of times, black people, we don't have our individuality, not like whites and so forth. And I came across a lot of these bossy type white women, these women that don't want, you see them on TV all the time, you see them on movies all the time, but we'll come across one white woman who acts like a giggly little schoolgirl around black men or around her man, and then we assume that, hey, that's how white women act. We need to get black women to act like this and so forth. I don't know, maybe some of these people need to be in one of those secular religious type countries where women don't have rights. Let's face it, this is America. Females have rights, females have choices, and hence females are going to make bad choices. So therefore the women should also point some blame to to other women who have made bad choices, in her life, to put her in that position in life and so forth, instead of constantly always blaming the men, blaming the black man. Now, I would say this, when dealing with these streets out here, a female can't teach a boy how to be a man, and a lot of these men are doing a poor job at it too. But the thing is, when it comes to drugs and violence and all the things that little black boys, will be attracted to and going down the wrong path, it's going to be a man. A man is going to be there to lead this kid into darkness. You see what I mean? A lot of the guns and the drugs, are pushed into our society is by men. The evil that men do and so forth. So hence, a black female who does want to raise her child to do the right thing, she has to worry about him being influenced by men, by these bad men. Now you can say that these men are bad because they've been raised up in a single home and so forth. Their father's not there. But hence, this is a more complicated situation than most people will, and people don't want to really go into the depths of it. They simply want easy answers and so forth, like telling females that pick a better dick, or whatever, a better man. When 50% of marriages here in America end up in divorce, I'm saying? I'm like, it's not that simple, But thanks for watching, and Sally for.